factor is it's 100% drug free. It's a supplement that's made. It can cause frustrated aches and pains, or maybe it's the occasional back.
I woke up early this morning with them on my head. Had a big feeling to find. Very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet. That life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
Very special day we do have. It is the 21st day of April, moving right along here, and it is a terrific Thursday. That means my partners in crime. This morning we have Autumn Scott Hall and we have Dennis Baxter from Celebrity Home Loans. Good morning. Take it away, Autumn.
Good morning. It is Thursday, beautiful day. Let's go ahead and welcome our Coffee Club sponsors.
Ooh, we're Cubs.
We're Cubs. You know, I'm stuck in the middle school. That's it. Salem Cubs.
There you go.
Which I never understood. But anyway, Coffee Club sponsors Walmart, Meadowview Healthcare, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Upland, Celebrity Home Loans, LLC, NMLS 227765, and MLSConsumerAccess.org, Equal Housing Lender, Dr. Butts Eye Associates, and Fox Pearly Wealth Management. Thank you, Coffee Club sponsors.
Why would you not understand a cub and a lion? A lion?
Because I would think that the Brady Shrum Elementary would be the Cubs, not the Lions. Why would you not go Cub, adolescent, lion?
Well, it's just like
Adolescent
You go,
lion.
because then you go from a lion to a Cub back to a lion. That's, sounds like identity crisis to me.
yeah. Well, the Cubs actually for middle school have been Cubs for years. So then I think actually years ago the elementary was something else. I'm trying to remember. Maybe I can pull that up. But
I'm curious, and
but you go from Cubs to a lion, you know,
Right, I
in
get
middle school
that.
to high school. Yeah,
but the elementary school are lions too.
I don't know that that's always been.
And I don't know that this may be outdated news, but
Somebody's not
Yeah, we got a real quick interview real quick. And good morning and hi. Tell everyone who we have with us this morning.
This is Jim Schreck, Indiana Conservation Officer.
Exactly, Jim, and we appreciate you calling in this morning and giving us a little time here. We want to real quick let our listeners know there was an amber alert.
Amber Alert.
No, silver alert. Silver alert yesterday. So I'll let you do the talking while I get my coffee. I'm so sorry inside of me here.
Sure. So yesterday, as you mentioned, there was a silver alert issued by the Jackson County Sheriff's Department. An 89-year-old male named Harold Wilson was there investigating his disappearance, and obviously the silver alert was to notify the public. Unfortunately, last night, between 5 and 6 o'clock p.m., the body of Mr. Wilson was located just outside of Little York there in Washington County.
All right, and what was from Seymour to Little York? How did he get to Little York? I guess.
Those are answers I don't have the answers to right now. I know, I was not on the scene last night, but our officers are investigating that. But his truck was located, so we know he drove. At some point, he drove there. Where he came from, I don't know. But his vehicle was found just along Old State Road 39. Again, they're outside of Little York, the Austin Bottoms area. And a couple of fishermen had actually walked down to, it was a little creek, little tributary that feeds into the Muscatatuck River, where his truck was located, and then they subsequently located his body there near the water line in that little creek.
Well, hate to hear that. I do too. It's so sad. But we do not expect any foul play. Is that correct? Let's clear that up because we just don't want everyone to be in panic mode around you.
Sure, absolutely. There's no reason to suspect any foul play. There is an autopsy scheduled for today, and hopefully have some more questions answered then. But No, at this point, we do not suspect any foul play. I can tell you that just speaking with the officers on the scene last night, it looked like his vehicle, his truck, had gotten stuck in the mud. So at some point, he apparently exited his vehicle, and then how he ended up in the creek in the water, that's still being investigated. But still some questions that need to be answered.
And he was alone, right?
Correct. Yes.
Well, we appreciate you calling in this morning and let everyone know. You know, it's amazing how from Amber Alerts to Silver Alerts to investigations, and how much if you see something, say something, and everyone working together and helping each other. And it's amazing when everyone comes together. And I'm sure that that's much appreciated from you with law enforcement.
Absolutely. Last night, yesterday was a perfect example of community and law enforcement, EMS all working together. From the fishermen that located him that did call and say something to state police, to sheriff's departments, to fire departments, everyone worked together, and it was a team effort to make the recovery and bring some closure to the family.
Absolutely. Jim, thank you so much for calling in this morning. Stay safe and keep up the great work, and thanks for letting us know and kind of getting some clarity on that. I appreciate you sharing that with us.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. That was Jim Schreck and with the conservation officer, so appreciate that. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
I saw that last night pop up. I really hate to hear that.
Yeah, me too. But anyway, but that was really pretty fast, the way they found it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
And I'm sure people are very thankful to know that there was no foul play.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's something that we want to make sure, because I think with, other things that are going on, everybody's a little.
Yes.
Right.
So, yeah. All right. So let's we're going to change gears here for a second. I appreciate him calling in here, but let's change gears. Today is the 21st day of April. Today is Big Word Day.
Big words.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
I knew you were going to do
I think
that.
that one.
Spell that one.
If you
No, thank you.
wait, if you know the sound of it,
It's quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, well, something or another.
yeah.
I don't remember it.
Well,
I guess I'm going to have to go watch it.
Okay, it's so funny. Again, how everybody interprets. Okay, it shows here big words.
Big words or big font?
It says Big Word Day, but it shows here how reading, how
Dennis needs me to put the font to 25 when he's reading.
Now, be careful.
easy over there, easy.
Or does it mean like the big words, like the big font, like what you would put on posters or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or that. Well, I guess either way, but
Not long words.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh. Today's also Bulldogs Are Beautiful Day. I put that up. Our little Lucy.
Bulldogs are beautiful.
Just beautiful.
They kind of look like they've been ran into a wall.
Well, they actually, to me, they get better in age. You know what I mean? They just get. Really
I've never had a bulldog. I can't really.
They can be little feisty little things. And
I
say as they age, they kind of mellow out.
I can't weigh in on
But we
this
do too,
conversation.
Yeah, that's right. Look at Autumn. Look over
She
there.
needs to
Autumn's
age a lot.
thinking about it.
I need to age a lot.
College Student Grief Awareness Day.
Are you grieved for being a college student?
Exactly. Ooh, you guys are going to love this, and I know that you take this very serious. Get to know your customers day.
I do take
Absolutely.
that serious.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes too serious.
She's very too much.
Okay, this is also International Pizza Cake Day. I always thought pizza was a pie, but is it a pizza?
I don't think
What is it,
pizza
a meat dish?
is a cake. I don't think you can say that.
Well, I'm just, I just said it.
Nick, today,
Dennis, did I?
I'm Googling it. I don't know how you have
It
a
has to
pizza
be like a
cake.
deep dish. Would be the cake.
But you have deep dish pie too. I don't know. I'm Googling
Okay, look,
this.
I'm
Well,
not going to
tomorrow
stand
be-
for this.
Pizza pie day, so.
Well,
Today's
I
pizza cake day.
I don't like, no.
I just want to say, I just really want a pizza. I mean,
Nicholas is wearing a shirt today of a cat surfing on a piece of pizza.
I love that. Oh, how perfect.
It is. I
You know,
did
I
not
don't
know it was
think-
pizza pie day.
I don't think there's ever been a time that I didn't want pizza. You know, pizza. Yeah, I want pizza. I mean, I really.
Oh,
yeah.
I eat pizza all the
Okay, let
I
me
think
tell you
so.
what pizza cake is. It's Canadian. It's those Canadians. Pizza cake is a Canadian multi-layer pizza baked in a cake pan. So
Awesome.
really, I guess
Yeah.
it's only since 2014, but of course Pillsbury jumped in got involved in that. So really, all you're doing is stacking multiple pizzas on top of each other. I think the Ninja Turtles would like that.
I do too. I can hang out with them.
It makes me a little nauseous. I'm not gonna
This
lie.
thing, this picture on the phone makes it look like it's about a 5-inch thick cake.
They could be my
Layers.
groupies, the Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, like I think I'm gonna get a little nauseous on that.
And pizza actually, it takes. I mean, it's really. It doesn't fill me up. It's really weird. I mean, I'm saying like
I need a lot of pizza.
I can too. And I really,
That's
when
my
I
thing.
sit down with someone, I have to say, I eat a lot of pizza. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just want to. We might order.
Yeah, I don't love pizza.
Do you not?
No.
Well, Dennis and I will eat your share.
You
Okay?
can have
No
it.
problem.
Yeah.
We can burn it.
Yeah, I don't think we can. I don't think we can celebrate that here in the North American continent country.
Oh,
You have to be
Canada.
Canada. You have to be Canadian for that.
All right. Let's see here. Keep off the grass day. Keep off the grass. Keep off
Get
the
off my
grass.
grass!
Get off the grass.
Hey, you pesky kids!
Get off the grass.
You know, I never understood that, to be honest.
Let them run in the grass.
I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, definitely. Kindergarten day. Oh man, hats off to all those kindergarten teachers, right?
That's awesome. I was texting my kid's kindergarten teacher last night because Nick is in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And I saw a meme that said, your kindergarten teacher knows everything about your life. Because, you know,
Oh,
kindergartners, they just share
share
everything.
They do.
So, God love Erin Moore, who probably knows more about my family than she would care to.
She's fantastic.
But I was texting her at 9 o'clock because we could not find Nick's Chromebook. Why you give kindergartners Chromebooks are beside me, but whatever. I found it. I had looked at it at least a dozen times right in front of my face on the couch.
Oh no.
And so I was like, never mind, I'm done. I'm done for
Well,
the
just
day.
Have a good night.
Like,
Yeah, I just wanted to check
What
with
about
you.
because
that
it's at 9 o'clock,
We
you
wanna
know.
wish you good night and sleep tight.
So she texts me back and she's like,
Oh.
she messaged me, you know, because we have this class dojo that, by the way, I have anxiety over because of my son. But she's like, yeah, I feel like we have so much in common.
Oh,
I was like,
love
well,
that.
thank you for validating
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for validating me, not just my kid.
I
Like,
love that. I love it. Making you feel good. That's exactly right.
it's right in front of my face.
Well, you know, and they always say that if you want something done, give it to a kindergarten or a teacher. Give it to
Yeah.
a kindergarten teacher. Yeah.
Yeah, they're great. God love them.
Yeah.
I taught kindergarten for 1 year. And
Oh yeah, you were a teacher.
I was a kindergarten teacher, and let's just say there's a reason I am back in mortgages, and God love every kindergarten teacher that there is.
That's off to them.
Takes a special person.
It does, and I'm not that person.
Ooh, National Chocolate Covered Cashew Day.
I would
Oh
eat
man,
those.
that's good.
Have mercy. Yeah. National DARE Day, and that is National Drug Abuse Resistance Education Day. National High Five Day.
High five.
You know, during COVID, high five has been. I mean,
They
like,
went away.
It went
I
away.
know.
Now you
Yeah.
did elbow bumps.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't even.
Yeah.
That really bothered me because you couldn't even like shake hands.
Well, remember then they started the Air Five, where you just air.
Oh man. Well,
We got to that.
You know, this is why our kids have no fine motor skills now.
Yeah.
we're taking
Yeah.
it all away.
Yeah.
National Tea Day.
Iced tea.
Any tea.
The letter tea.
Any no iced tea.
I
any
do
tea.
love a good glass of sweet tea.
Oh no, I've got to wait for tea. It's gonna be unsweet tea.
That's dirty water, Dennis.
No, it isn't.
I drink dirty water. National Yellow Bat Day.
Yellow bat.
Yeah, yes, there's a yellow bat.
I'm Googling this.
Thank you for Libraries Day. Very thankful. We got a beautiful library.
We
right
do.
here. We are very blessed.
And I love, so if you do not know, the library is doing an after school program on Mondays.
Love that.
Then what?
They do different activities. They learn different things. It's from 4:30 to, they told me only half an hour, but I'm literally dragging my kid out at 5:20 so that we can make it to dance on time. So they really do engage them. The kids hate to leave.
Oh, I love that.
Like they really
Oh,
do
isn't that
pour in.
wonderful? Yeah.
It's a good
Yeah,
job.
and they do a great summer program. Like we
Yeah,
really
they do
have
a
a
great
great
summer.
library.
Sure.
So that's my 2 cents.
All right. Also, this is Tuna Rights Day.
Tuna.
Tuna rice.
Tuna, you know, the fish tuna, I guess they have, yeah. They have rights, I guess.
Oh, right.
Rights. Yeah.
Right. All
I
right.
think you thought rice.
Yeah,
I was thinking rice.
The rights, they have rights, I guess. Yeah.
No, pause. Yellow bat is actually a bat, like an animal.
Yeah, I
Oh,
I
No,
thought,
I had a baseball bat image in my
I did
oh,
too.
I was like,
You
why
got
are we
some
celebrating
baseball
yellow
going on over
bats?
there. Yeah.
head. Yeah, so yellow bats is a northern bat that lives along the southeastern Atlantic and Gulf coast, and they love Spanish moss. So probably in that Savannah
Oh yeah.
area,
Yeah.
maybe in Louisiana.
I bet
You'd
so,
see that.
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. World Creative Day. So be creative
I
today.
love that. Be creative every day.
All right, get out and enjoy for sure. All right, wonderful. And let's let's jump in. We got let's see. I've got hang on just a second here. I'm making sure.
Hey, do you know yellow bats live in palm trees?
That's good.
That is new. I didn't know that. Look, I always learn something new every time I'm in here.
Yeah. I'm cracking up because someone wrote someone just texted me. I didn't know what it was about, and it said background music. And I thought that something was playing as we're talking, but it's not. It's not. It means they want me to have background music for the event. Okay, so I'm like, okay.
I think we should have background
I
music.
just broke a sweat over here, thinking, you know what I mean. I was like, all's good.
We're good.
So, okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, so let's jump in and let's talk about celebrity home loans, all the great things you got going on, and of course. Dennis, you had a big weekend. You went over to right, actually north of Cincinnati or east or
Just east, southeast.
east of Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
it was Easter weekend. I
Yeah,
forgot.
and did some horse training and came back and had a good time.
Had a real good time over there.
Yeah.
Like we talked earlier. So when you get over there, 30 miles southeast of Cincinnati, you're getting there in eastern Kentucky. Getting a little hilly over there in that good old boys area. The people we were with, they said, "Oh, we'll go over here to," I forget the name of the mall. They said, "We've got a new place over here, just a couple of miles. We're going to go eat lunch there." So just realize where you're at. So we make a little trip over there, and I'm thinking, mall. Where's the mall? We're out in the middle of nowhere,
We still have moles?
Oh yeah. So we pulled up. It looked like an old elevator, grocery store, general store type place, and had a big old tank outside for their gas up above the ground. Had the old gas pumps out front that does a ching 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 as it rings out. We went back in time about 75, 80 years real quick.
How'd that make you feel?
Oh man, it made me feel old, really old, because it's like, okay, I'm back to my childhood.
I love that.
Food was great over there. They had a butcher shop underneath of us. I mean,
Yeah, you talk about
so I mean, it
yeah.
was really, and the food that they had was all fresh, and the meat they had was they butchered right there.
What did you order?
Good old cheeseburger.
Oh,
Just a good old plain cheeseburger.
you can't go.
And
I
man,
do love a
was
good
good.
cheeseburger.
Yeah, you can't
I
go
do.
with a good
If it's
amazing.
real beef, I can't handle those frozen patties. Like,
Oh,
give me
no.
the real.
Them are
Yeah,
soybean burgers.
yeah,
You don't want
yeah.
those.
Yeah, I want real beef.
I'm very picky about my food.
Yeah.
I mean, I like dead animals, so
In fact, I mean, I'll just even we got a farm right here south of town that they butcher and they sell on weekends, and right here in the county.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the meat is good. It's as good as you can get.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, Yeah,
It does. It's
Yeah.
house raised and house processed,
Yeah.
and it's good and fresh.
definitely. And before actually Coffee Club this morning, Rick and Bubba was talking about this. There's I guess in Texas, there's a certain kind of I guess it's a cow, and it's got a different name. And
What?
it's Wagyu.
Wagyu.
Wagyu beef.
and they just go wild. I mean, they just roam. You can't fence them in. Do you know about this? Anyway, and they were brought over here from somewhere, like another country. I don't know if it was.
I think Wagyu beef is from Japan, isn't it?
No, I think that's different. But they were.
Okay, so you're probably talking about starts with a C.
I thought I would remember this, but they were just talking about that beef, and apparently they brought 5 over here.
Corriente.
What is it?
Corriente.
They brought 5 over, and they didn't survive. And then they brought more over, but they don't fence them in. They just let them roam. But they used it. The cattlemen would eat that instead of eating the cow eating their cows when they were moving cattle.
They're very lean. The meat's very lean.
Yeah.
Corriente. You see them around here.
Look at Dennis knowing his beef. I'm a little impressed, Dennis.
I might. We need to go. We need to go. Go out to eat with Dennis and have him order for us.
I'm pretty
What-
impressed.
Well, if you were taking Autumn and I out, what kind of steak would you order us?
Well, probably prime rib. That's got to be one of my favorites.
Have mercy.
It's
A good prime rib. You can't beat a good
you
prime
can't beat a good prime rib.
Oh,
I
with
mean,
the au jus.
yeah, prime rib.
Autumn.
I'm still reading about the Corriente cattle.
Yeah, it was, and they have a different it was a different name that they call them in
Because those are Spanish cows, they said.
Right. They're down. They've been around forever in the U.S.
Right.
And that's what they used to raise out west before
Look
the
at this.
Herefords and the Angus come over.
We're gonna figure this
I'm
out.
looking.
Together,
I'm looking
this
to
is a
see what
group
Rick and
unit here.
Bubba were
Yeah.
talking
They're,
about.
Yeah.
they're also an offspring of the Longhorn, and they use them around here locally to rope because they're fairly
Yes.
small and they got big horns, makes them easy to rope versus where.
Well, they said
It
that
also does say that on
But-
Google,
but the-
Dennis. So you are confirming what Google is telling
and
you.
Dennis does not have
And
his phone,
Google's
so he's
correct.
not googling it. Yeah.
Dennis is not Googling
I'm not
anything.
doing it.
So they do say, as a note, that cows from Brazil are the best beef. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Well, now they said that the beef is not. Well, this one. Okay, this is different. This isn't from.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Okay.
See, I thought Wagyu was Japanese, so I think
It's from the Orient. It's from over
yes.
there. And it's a different strain of beef. And it's very lean. It's highly marbled, but very lean.
And I heard that perhaps they gave them beer. I could be making that up.
Well, would that not have your yeast?
Yeah, but see, they don't let them roam. Like I think they keep them.
No, these they said they just let them roam.
Yeah,
and
they're
you
very
just-
tough.
yeah.
They're very, that's
Yeah.
why they survive. That's why they're out there.
Yeah.
Because they survive. And your cattle
And they
cattle
sur-
drives. That's what your cattle drives to work.
Well, they said that they don't migrate this way because they don't like the cold. So they
Well,
stay
I don't
right
like the
north.
cold either, so
Well-
now my great south.
They don't have heavy fat on them. That's why.
It's because they're
They're
lean.
lean.
OMG.
Yeah.
Now we can sleep.
That's
tonight.
why that Corriente cow beef is good for.
It's good for you. It's
It's-
grass fed.
Yes, it's better for you. They say because it's lean. It doesn't have fat because they roam.
Don't fence me in, give
Don't
me land,
fence
lots of
me
land.
in.
Don't fence me in. That's exactly right. All right, so we're gonna go now. We're gonna talk about going squirrel. Okay, now we're gonna go into to the meat of this. Let's talk about. We're gonna move over here a moment. I'm sorry, I gotta stop. Oh,
Okay,
she's
I'm
gonna
done.
be here all day long.
I'm done.
I know.
I'll
She's
see you
gonna-
guys.
She's
Peace
gonna be
out.
here all day long.
I don't have enough coffee for
Okay.
this, Becky.
I need to. Okay, we're going to talk about budgeting, right?
Yes, that was
Yes.
the plan.
So, as a note, Wagyu beef, probably not part of a daily budget. Like that should be a sometimes meal.
That's an expensive meal.
Yeah,
they really get
sometimes.
that right.
Please don't put Wagyu in your daily budget unless you're just
Sounds like
making
something
six
instant
figures.
Wagyu. I mean, sounds like something like
It's Japanese, Becky.
No, but it sounds to me. It sounds like if you were to say that, I would think you were opening up a box and you put.
Wagyu. That's because we're used to ragu.
That's it.
Oh,
yeah.
ragu,
Yeah,
that's
ragu.
totally different.
Chef Boyardee.
Oh yeah.
That's
Which,
a-
by the
There
way,
you go.
little sad, my kids do not like Chef Boyardee. Yeah, it's a sad day in my life.
Really?
Yeah, they don't. They don't like that. They don't like canned pasta. Which I mean,
Well, I can't
really,
blame them there. I don't like any canned pasta.
I can't get upset with them about that. But like, I grew up on that because we were poor. So like, we grew up on that kind of stuff.
It is. You know, I mean, when you're
It's
in
comfort food for
and
me.
you know what I mean. Yeah, I mean, you gotta get it. You know what I mean? You got. It's got my stomach growling.
You know, that's how I know when my kids are entitled. It's like, you know what? You can eat canned pasta. We'll go hungry, Mom. That's what they tell me. We'll just wait till your next meal.
Oh wow.
Yeah, right.
They're really intense about that. But speaking of budgeting and making sure that you can afford the non-canned pasta,
The non-canned pasta.
and having the real McCoy, budgeting always anybody should be on a budget, right? No matter
I
what.
think you should be on a budget regardless, or at least know where your money is going.
Well, and this is my saying: you work way too hard for your money, not to spend it wisely.
And not to know where it goes.
Yeah, and budget's not opening your billfold or your purse up and say, how much money I got left in this Wednesday? You don't get paid till Friday. You know, that's not budgeting. That's where we see most people.
That's
That's a panic budget.
how much do I have in my change jar?
Well, it's like, you know, so everybody ought to just,
Hey,
you
I've
know,
done it. I've been there.
I think
I've done
I think
it.
everyone, yeah.
So to get this way, and I don't think we talked about this. Beck and I have talked about this, but so everybody, you know, a lot of people knows I've kind of taken a back seat at my age, and I'm trying to not do as much, and we're getting close to that fixed income. So
That's
so when you talk
true.
about budgeting, so it's just like your Keurig. Man, I'm having
Yeah.
trouble this morning.
Yeah.
You need
So-
another cup of coffee.
I know.
You need to
My cafe, it wasn't enough. It wasn't a big
I'm a
enough.
little sad you didn't get me a cup because I have no
yeah,
coffee.
We love McDonald's. Yeah.
So when you do your budgeting, and you ought to get a sheet out and write down everything you do every day, everything you spend on for a week, and see where your money categorize it.
I don't really want
Gas
to do that.
stations, convenience stores, grocery store, and then when you're at the grocery store, take a look at what you buy and make a list of what's real food,
Yeah.
what's snacks, and what's junk, and then what's cleaning supplies.
Exactly.
I mean,
As she's cleaning over there.
I'm doing her daily cleaning.
I don't think people realize how much money they spend like on junk.
Autumn,
it's-
wait 1 second. That is a signed baseball over there. So just
I'm not cleaning the baseball.
You're making me okay. I don't mind it, but just making nervous that I was going to say. I was thinking the baseball is a signed.
The baseball's not
Okay,
posted. The
I'm so-
baseball's
okay.
in it's prestigious place.
Okay. Just got worried. Okay. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Look
Just
how
over
bright
here.
these actually
Yeah.
are after I
Okay.
wash
You're-
Yeah, I
them.
know they're beautiful. You're doing great. Go ahead. I'm so sorry. Just nervous about
Or how much you eat eating out at the local
Well, exactly.
restaurants on the square.
So
which I may
is
be
this
guilty of.
inflation is running away with itself, and it's taking a hurt on the bill,
That's
folks.
true.
And people are wanting to still buy houses. A lot of people need houses. Rates are going up, so it's going to cause people to tighten up. It doesn't mean you can't. It just means maybe it's a time to sit back and look at things. So back to my Keurig. So those little Keurig cups, it's $40-some at Sam's to get 80 of them. So they're about 50 cents a piece, sometimes a little bit more than that.
I spend $29.99 on a case of 100.
Okay, make me a liar.
I'm letting you know. I don't know if the prices have gone
Okay.
down. They did used
Well,
to be 50 cents,
And
but the
sometimes
one I just bought, it was $30 for 100.
okay.
I just got one. That's the only reason I know.
Going down.
It's-
That had to be. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
but I
it might have
don't
been.
buy. I buy the Maker's Mark brand, the same.
Okay.
So
So the regular
Yeah.
major brands they're pushing at $35-$40. But bottom line is, so my wife and I, we were talking, trying to how can we cut back? I mean, we're looking, how are we going to be able to cut back as we get ready to retire, get on fixed income? We know where our money, how much we've got.
right,
What are we going to do? How are we going to keep doing what we're doing as much as we can because we're going to have less money, and no difference with it. And this inflation's even making it
yes,
people open their eyes more. Well, Keurig makes a little, you pop the insert out for the cups, and it's got a little filter in it, a little wire mesh filter.
yes.
You can buy a little paper filter. I highly recommend that. I tried the other one first. That was a disaster.
Okay.
Talk about muddy water.
Coffee grounds.
Yes. And I like Maxwell.
Okay.
So-
Dennis is a Maxwell House person, in case anybody
I
cares.
Love that.
So with that little paper filter in there, and I learned how to measure. You can get this little plastic measure with a clip on it, so you can dip in your can and shake it, level it off, and fold it over, and it puts a little funnel to it, and just it's a real neat little thing. We need a camera in here.
I know.
My hands is sitting there doing it.
I know. Yeah.
So just visualize that. But the bottom line is, I'm ending up with coffee that I think is a whole lot better.
Yeah.
And it's costing me like 7, 8, 10 cents a cup.
Yeah.
This
that's-
I will tell you, Dennis came into the office when he got back, and he's like, "I don't know if I can drink that trash anymore."
I mean,
I was like, "Listen here, Snooty McSnoot Pants."
Coffee's not.
but the bottom line is, it was nothing for me to go through 100, 150 of them a month. And now,
Yeah.
a pound
yeah.
of coffee,
Yeah.
$5-6 gets me
Yeah.
just fine.
That's wonderful.
And that's a lot in my situation as we go forward. But all these add up. All of them add up. It's just like take your bank statement, print it out, and look at how many times you stop at the gas station.
Yes.
I see people go in there. I see they go spend $7, $8 in the morning. I see them at noon run out from wherever they work and stop by there again. And then in the evening, I see on their way home. And some people spend $40, $50 a day.
I'm not
That's
going
a lot
to
of
say
money.
any names, but at one point in time, I considered buying stock in Speedway.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Dennis always knew when I was bouncing my checkbook because I'd be like, "Speedway again!"
Oh, that's so funny. That's funny. Well, it adds up, and this is stuff that is so important. Like, and here's the thing: everybody's individual. Like
Exactly.
that was a way that you and your family, Dennis, could cut a little bit of and take some of that fat off of your
Yes.
of your income
Yeah.
or your money.
Waste, you know.
Yeah, waste. Yeah.
And end up with something better.
Yeah.
You know.
And
Well, and
Yeah.
a lot of times it is just so. The key about budgeting, and this, I mean, I know that was a big, long merry-go-round story, but just to even
That's me.
say, I know, I'm used to it. But, you know, it takes him longer to make his cup of coffee than popping in the K-Cup.
Yeah.
And so, at the end of the day, I don't think we realize how much we pay for convenience.
Oh, we pay a lot.
oh, I agree.
We pay a lot.
I mean,
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
You know, the gas station, and I'll tell you, those gas station lattes and stuff with mixed coffees and all that stuff, they spend a lot more time in line making that stuff and then in line to go pay for it than I do with my little thing
Yeah.
at home. And you can put it in an insulated cup and take it to work with
Look,
you.
and he's happy. He's
He's
happy.
thrilled.
I know. I know.
like it.
No, I know. I'm all for it. You're not saying anything that, no. And I think this is good information. And I think right now this is like home right now. I mean, everybody can relate to this. I mean, there's not one person I haven't talked to that has not been hit by
inflation.
on everything.
I thought this morning as I was making Nick a sandwich, I'm like, man, I gotta go buy bread again.
Yeah.
Like I almost feel like
You got 300. You got 3 kids that will eat you out of the house.
but it's like,
They're
it's
that
not,
Yeah, they are. You're
it's
right.
going, you know, when you think about, I just spent X amount at the grocery store and I'm out of food again. It's
Yeah.
because of those inflation prices that,
Yeah.
you know, when you drop $200 at the grocery store, like that used to last me,
Yeah.
you know, a month. Now I'm doing good to get through a week and a half. And
Yeah.
so those prices are going up.
They are.
And
Definitely. And I think that's where it's just nice to get a little bit of. I mean, we know what's happening. This is, and there's nothing we can do about it. You know what I mean?
No.
But what we can do is rearrange our own living style.
Right.
Do something
Right.
about
Yes.
ourselves.
Now we can't do something about it, but we got a few more months, so we'll go to the voting booth and we vote for change. All right, we'll throw a little politics in there. But
All right.
I
until
stay
then,
away from
yes,
politics.
you know, we don't know where this inflation's going to go. We don't know where these interest rates are going to go. We do know it needs to slow down, and it will. It always has. And we don't. And with what's going on over in Europe, has got everything in it. You know, that's the wild card right now.
Yeah.
That's the wild card in our economy and what's going on in the world.
Right.
And people need to really study that and watch it because it is. You know, it's a big wild card going on. That's a bunch of noise.
Yeah, it's a big trailer going by.
Okay. Sidetrack there, people. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
we hear
yeah. Yeah, you hear that. You hear, yeah. You hear
Yeah,
a lot.
that kind of scared me a little bit. I thought maybe the apocalypse was upon
No.
us.
This is a big
So just, you know, and you go online and you can get a little spreadsheet and a little budget sheets. I mean, they're on there all the time. And if you want to know how to use one or something, come into the office.
So
We'll
does
help you
everything,
with it.
let's kind of talk about this because with the interest rates, we've talked about the interest rates going up. How does everything affect everything? I mean, how does it all?
All right.
It's all
So,
affected. Everything's going up.
everything-
affected?
yeah.
Except
So
salaries.
a good example I would use with a lot of people, 3-4 years ago, you could go, you know, you went down to New Albany, Jeff and all, and you'd walk into those subdivisions that were $250,000, $300,000, $350,000, and you walk through those houses, and you know you had granite countertops everywhere. You have over-the-top custom cabinets in it. You've got tile everywhere, high-priced tile, not economical tile, and wood trim on the walls and wainscoting, and I mean, it had everything.
They were fancy.
They were very fancy.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Yeah.
fancy.
Now go down there and look at them, and they're very common. They took all that kind of stuff. They've reduced the size of them.
All
made
the
them a little
extras.
simple. All the extras.
The bells
They're
and whistles.
simpler. So
Now you just get a whistle. No
yeah,
bells.
Yeah.
No bells.
And now with
Can't
interest,
have both.
yeah. So and that takes care of the inflation, the way they went up. And now you look at the interest rate; it's just going to make people are going to be able to afford an X payment, and then they're going to take that payment and depending on what the interest rate is, look and see how much they can buy. It's going to reduce them down. Yeah, it's going to take a few people out for a while until things change.
Yeah, because
But
honestly, we have a
it's a
couple of
cycle.
people that have been pre-approved for a while, and when we pre-approved them, they were looking at 3.5, 3.75 interest rates, and now they're finally finding homes. And it's like, oh yeah, maybe you were approved for 175, but now we're looking at 125 because your rate's
Yeah.
5.5 now,
Yeah, it's just changed that.
and it makes a big difference.
And it's all happening. I mean, the majority of that's happened in the last 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's not slowing up right now.
So so you're talking about all the stuff going on, across Europe and all the stuff that's happening. So is this okay? So then does this? Okay, let's start at the top. Does it affect the stock market?
The stock market affects everything else.
Okay, so that's where it trickles down. It's like a domino effect.
It's a domino effect. Everybody thinks so when they talk about the Feds setting the rates and raising rates, what they're actually doing, they're raising the rate that the bank borrows money off the Feds overnight to keep their books balanced. It has nothing to do with mortgages. But by that happening, that triggers some other stuff in the stock market and the bond market and how the world sees it. So, and inflation does too. So what we watch is the U.S. Treasury bond. As it goes up, that will kind of drive rates up because that affects mortgages. Mortgage bonds, so you have what's called coupons. And just think of a coupon as a certificate of deposit at a bank, and they pay you X amount for it. They pay you 2% on that certificate. So however long it's there, you get paid 2%, annually off of it, and you got a 3% or 4%. Well, mortgage bonds or certificates is kind of like that. So lenders will sell them and they'll be put in like a 3% bond or 4% bond. That means that loan they collect from whoever the mortgage, whoever has the mortgage, they get that payment. And it'll be 3%, 4%, 5%, whatever it is. And of course, the higher the price of the bond, the more interest rate you got to pay them, and the more they're willing to pay the lenders for it. With all this stuff going on, so a year and a half ago, there was a 2% bond come out for the first time in history. And we'd already broke the 3% and went to 2.5% before that. So that got us in some of them real low 2% money that we had for a long time. And they were paying pretty good prices for it. They wanted them. That's where the market was. Now with all this other stuff, and bonds, the other thing is bonds are a safe place for money. So investors in the stock market, when it gets really radical and bouncing around, they will take their money out of the stock market and buy bonds because it's fixed and they won't lose. Is the idea behind it. Now, when the stock market rises up, then they'll take it out of the mortgage-backed securities, cash them in, and go there and make a bigger profit. So when everything was really bad a couple of years ago, when everything, it was tight, they were buying, and the stock market was bouncing, they would put a lot of money into bonds, and that's what the government was buying. That's how they stimulated the economy. Well, now the 2%'s gone, the 2.5%'s gone, 3% is you got to buy. It's in a negative to lenders, and 3.5 is barely breaking even. And right now we're seeing 5, 5.5, and even a few 6s now. So that stuff, and the economy's driving that. It's not the lenders. The lenders aren't doing it. The banks aren't doing it. The banks don't get paid for it. There's not a bank in the country that has enough money to loan out some of their portfolios that they service. So they're putting these bonds, and investors buy them. The banks just serve them. That's what U.S. Bank and Wells Fargo, all your great big banks, they're into the servicing because they get a percentage to just serve. They get paid to just collect the bills, send the bills out, collect them. That's all electronic anymore. So that's where the banks are after there. And, we don't know where this is going to end. I do remember in my childhood, and I'll tell this all the time, hey, I've seen double digit interest on mortgages. I've seen 14, 15, 16%. Now, you want something to hurt? That hurts.
Yeah.
So, but we didn't have convenience store gas stations you spent $400 or $500 a month on. We didn't have cell phones, $200, $300 a month phone bills, $200 dish bills.
Yeah.
Didn't have any of that stuff. So, what we made went to live off of and pay for a house payment. And if you want to buy a house, you're going to have to look at that stuff. You may have to make some changes in life.
Well, and one of the big things that, we do have people who come in and we do sit with them and we do go through bank statements and point out things. I
love that.
It's, the girls make fun of me because when people come in, I get my stuff together and I'll have 4 or 5 different highlighters because I highlight per category.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's red is, convenience, gas station, fast food restaurants, things like that. Anything that yellow is your utility bills. And then I tried to do one that what people don't realize is they have a lot of those auto pay, automatic
And they don't even use
subscriptions.
them anymore.
The Netflix, the Disney Plus, the Apple ID. So you have all of these things that you don't think about it because it's only maybe $10 or $20 a month, and you don't think that's anything. But when you have 6 or 7 of those, that adds up per month. And I've had people that have literally said, "Oh, I don't know when the last time I used my Hulu was." Oh, you mean I'm still paying for whatever it is?
Right.
And it's like they don't realize they're still paying for it.
Oh, and I got one for you. So yesterday morning coming to work, I was listening to my radio, and it's a different station. They got talking about one of the people that was on there. Their daughter was on some video game, and she got into the real mode, and she ran up a $200 bill on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then other people start calling in the $400, $500, $600, $700 their kids done. So
those Xbox Live games, or even like those Roblox. My kids play Roblox, and you have like on those you can buy like Robux.
yeah, and that's I never heard of this.
Or V-Bucks or whatever. Like my kids, I'm the world's meanest mom because I'm like, no, I'm not buying you fake. I'm not spending real money for you to put it in a virtual world. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, as a side note, caveat, used to be real estate was number one place that dirty money became clean, like illegal money became legalized. Money laundering used to be real estate. That's why we have such heavy fraud things. Now it's video game skins. So now those V-Bucks and those Robux and those Xbox Live fees and all of those, that gaming system has become so popular, that is where people are taking illegally made money and making it legal. Just as a side note.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure cryptocurrency is the same way because it's not regulated. They can't regulate it.
They can't regulate crypto.
So you can put money in there. You can make money off your money. And you can pull it out, and nobody knows about it.
But back to budgeting because we're getting on sidetracks.
Yeah.
So we are.
Very interesting.
There's so much that goes with it, and I think that's kind of what makes it hard to stay on topic because you have all these other things that almost like a river. It's like you have all these other tributaries that go into a stream that flow into this river. But that that's the number one place I would say start. Look. I know, guys. I know people do everything online. I love having my bank app. But please go to an actual desktop computer. Go to your statements. Print them out. If you don't see it in black and white, you never realize what you spent.
And if you break it down into a budget and then break down what you spent, you might be surprised.
Well, and
you might be surprised.
It's actually you're being accountable for what you are doing, but also. Right now we're going through so many scams. And if they can get a hold of your information, then they can take out so much each month and
you don't even know.
And you don't know that. Yeah.
I had a friend years ago.
Whether it's $5 or $10 or something, which can make a difference.
If you don't watch your account to the dime, then you don't know. You're just like, oh, okay, I have $800 today. Oh, well, a couple bills must have come out. I have $400, now. And it is nice to have those. No, and it's nice to have those automatic payments. Like, I love not having to worry about missing a payment because, it's automatic. Mm-hmm. But on the flip side, if something happens,
you don't know. You can run it up.
Oh, yeah.
I know somebody that, back 20 years ago, and she was a bookkeeper, and she was balancing her checkbook. She'd let go for 6-8 months one time, and she decided to step back and go there. And she paid pretty close attention when she done it. And she found a bill on there, automatic withdrawal, had been paying for 6 months. It was $20 or $25. And when she chased it back, because it wasn't hers.
Oh, wow.
And when she followed it back, somewhere somebody had mistyped the account number.
No.
And it attached to her account instead of the real account.
Right.
And she had to fight with the bank for 3 months to get her money back because it was their error, but they didn't want to pay for it. So it does happen.
Yeah.
Typos, there is errors.
You do still have human error.
And it's for a long time, I thought, keep an eye on your credit and, check your report. I thought, well, that was maybe a little over, but anymore, I'm at the point, Credit Karma is one of the greatest things out there. It'll help you keep a track of your account, what's going on in your credit, and it doesn't cost you anything. So, we've seen stuff pop up on people's credit reports, same way.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on. You just
Yeah.
got to keep an eye on everything because there is so much scamming.
Exactly. And boy, once they get it, I mean,
Oh, they'll run with it.
oh, definitely.
Like even credit cards. Like I was talking to somebody because we had a fraudulent charge. I can't remember if it was Chase or Citi, somebody, but we had called because we're like, this is not us. This is a fraudulent charge.
Right.
And the lady told me, she's like, you literally have almost like, you know how you used to have sweatshops back in the, well, now they have like fraud sweatshops where people literally sit and they punch in 16-digit numbers waiting to see what hits.
Oh, they said they get. I can't remember. I was just in a meeting this week, and the ping that.
Yeah.
Yes. It's unreal.
And they just, that's all they do all day is they sit there and they just type in 16-digit numbers to see what hits, to see what.
They catch an account number and
they run with it.
They run with it. They'll plan it out.
So that is one thing. Budgeting always starts with knowing where your money goes.
Yeah.
But one of the things that people need to realize when you're budgeting is you have two different types of income. And this should, I would think, be a little bit of common sense, but it's really not because you don't realize.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your gross income, which is what you make. You make your $17 an hour, 40 hours a week. You have your gross income. But your taxes and your insurance and all of that comes out of your gross. So what you get paid in your account is your net income. Okay?
That's what you need to work
That's
on.
really what you need to budget with is off of your net income.
Right.
Because even though you may make $20,000 a year or $60,000 a year, what you're actually getting in your account is maybe only 40.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't live a lifestyle on 60,000 when you're really cash money, you're only getting 40. Like that makes a difference.
Sure.
And that's why when we're talking to people, our ratios are based off of gross.
They're based off of gross, not.
And that is why that's why a lot of times our ratios they are, they seem small. Like we were talking this week in the office, USDA has really cut back. Like there is no leeway. You are 29%, and if you are over 29%, Gus is not liking it. They're referring it. They're throwing us to a manual underwrite. They don't want your housing payment over 29% of your gross. Because if you think about it, 29% of your gross is really probably 40%, of your budget.
Yeah.
So they're tightening up on that a lot. And when you're talking making $14, $16 an hour, that's really not a big house payment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Well, and to know that, and to know, and to have the breakdown of your lifestyle, and you can't be house poor,
right?
Because and things that are important to you, things that you can, that you can compromise on. I don't have to have this. I do want this, or
what's most important, the house or all this other miscellaneous stuff?
Yeah.
Well, and here's the other thing of this, and this is what I tell people, because I have people who will get angry. Like we've had people angry. It's like, well, I can pay $1,100 in rent, but you're telling me that I can't have a $900 house payment. Well, first of all, it's not me telling you can't have a $900 house payment.
Yeah, this is not.
It's the ratios. It's the government. But on the flip side, your landlord is not looking at your budget. Your landlord is not looking at your pay stubs and your W-2 and your salaries. Because, hey, guess what? If you don't make your rent, your landlord's just going to kick you out. It takes a lot longer than a 90-day eviction notice to get you out of a mortgage. There are more legalities. There are more, like I can't just say, okay, you're done.
Right.
It's a different ballgame. And that $1,100 rent is something you chose.
Exactly.
It doesn't fit guidelines. It doesn't fit anything. It has nothing to do with all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It
stinks. I mean, I hate that for you because rents are going up as well.
They're going up.
I mean, if I see somebody that comes in and they're like, "Oh, I pay $500 a month in rent," I'm like,
"Better stay there."
That's amazing. That's that's great.
Yeah.
Because rents are going up.
Well, it's so interesting, and and of course, for those that are have worked hard and have really done tried to follow what needs to happen to get to and wants to be a homeowner, you can do it.
Right.
You just have to. This stuff all has to be on the table, so there's no surprises.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly. They
I
have
mean,
to know.
this might be like everybody's like, why are you not? I mean, yes, the American dream. I mean, maybe, but
Well, here's the deal. The American dream may be to own a home, and we've had this conversation in our office, and we've actually have talked to people and told them this. Does not mean everyone deserves a home. If you cannot make your payments on time, and not even that, if you don't have the capacity or the motivation to maintain your home and take care of the repairs and mow the yard and do that, then you don't need to be a homeowner.
You just need to rent.
You need to rent. You do
And
not
there's
need to be a
nothing wrong with
homeowner.
that.
There's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with that. No.
No, I know some people who rent because you know what? They don't want to worry about the water heater blowing up. They don't want to worry about replacing a furnace. They don't want to take care of a roof.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Like that. Kudos to you for knowing that.
Exactly. And you have to figure out what kind of person you are and what your lifestyle is. And if you are like Autumn brought up a really good point the other day. Tuesday it was. You said you stayed home because you've already paid. You're paying your mortgage.
I'm getting my mortgage worth.
That's what she said.
I paid my mortgage payment. I'm staying home. I'm enjoying it.
Right. And and for those that maybe travel or who or their job, takes them away or whatever, if they're a pilot or and they're in the air all the time or something, they might need a little something, and that's They don't.
I did have one customer that came in and said, "Listen, I like to go on vacation. I like to travel. That's where my money goes. I don't want a house payment over $400 or $500 because I'm probably only going to sleep there maybe 2 weeks out of the month." And it's like, well,
They don't need a house payment then.
okay.
They just need rent.
Well, no, they did buy a house but it was like, okay, well, and that was a situation where my ratios were super low. Like, I think my housing ratio was like 10% because that's where they wanted to spend their money.
Now, that's hard for me to understand because I like to be home. I like to have my house. I like to do stuff at home. And I like to travel, but I don't want to be gone all the time.
Right.
And when I travel, it's like, I go for a few days, I'm like, okay, I'm done here. I've seen everything in this town. What am I going to do now? We should have went somewhere else also. We should have stopped at 2 towns this time. Or whatever.
When you go on vacation, you're so excited to get there, and everything's so good, and you're in the high top of the mountain. You're all excited, but boy, whenever it's time to get home, there's no place like home.
I'm the opposite. I guess because we drive everywhere, and with 3 kids, it's kind of stressful. So like when I get there, it takes us a good 2 to 3 days to decompress from the drive.
That's when you're working home, and take care of the kids and everything else.
But it takes us a good 2 days. Like when we go on vacation, I hate to just go for a week because it's like I feel like we're finally relaxed, we're finally decompressing, and then it's time to pack up and go home. And it's like I haven't relaxed.
We literally left Indiana and drove straight to go see the mouse. Okay, I had a daughter that was obsessed with the mouse, so we get to Orlando, Florida, and we go right in and. We go. This is after 16-hour drive because with children you have to stop and restrooms and all that. You know what I mean? Because they eat, they drink, and all that stuff. So, 16 or maybe 17 hours. I don't know. It was forever long drive, and I held on every bit of that and pull up, and the mouse is there. We go in, hair pulled straight up, ponytail, and we get photos taken, and they get meet and greet with the mouse. Okay, and what's so funny is. This photo, it's like a horrible photo of me. You know what I'm saying? No, I
didn't even get to go refresh.
As a mom, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I don't have any makeup on. I have my hair straight pulled back. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at how everybody else in the household looks. The girls look so cute and so good. You know what I mean? Yeah. And here is mom, and I had these ugliest sandals that actually broke on the way, but
that's our life.
But I'm looking at and I'm thinking if you don't see the sacrifices moms make in this, you know what I mean? If somebody doesn't realize, you know what I mean, to get to see the mouse, you know what I'm saying, the almighty mouse, and it worked out wonderful. Everybody was happy, but in that photo, I just look at me and I'm thinking, oh my,
that was a spicy disaster.
Yeah. So I was thinking, I wonder if I could almost edit that and make me put some makeup on or do something with the hair, you know what I mean? But
Photoshop me.
Yeah, I need to be photoshopped in that. But anyway, it is something that I do too. I like a good road trip though.
I don't mind a road trip, but
You talk about family bonding.
I want to get. Well, that's why we have Wi-Fi in the van, so that the kids can be on
That's
there.
not bonding.
Uh-huh.
We have Wi-Fi. They're not bonding there.
But
Well, we didn't have that back
no,
then.
and we do turn it like that is something we go through, and we
when
talk
somebody's
and we
when,
play
when
games.
somebody's sleeping with their foot in your face, you have to learn to get along.
Yeah,
You have to bob and weave and adjust.
Go back and remember and watch National Lampoon's Vacation.
never seen it,
You missed a good one.
Yeah, definitely.
but that's anyway.
Well, anyway, so it just depends on what's
And-
important to you, and if you
Yes, and that is important to know as well. What is your priorities when you're doing a budget? And everybody's is different. So, and it's something I have seen they are starting to try to teach again in school,
Yeah, I've heard that.
and so that's good.
Oh, it's so
Not as
important.
good
It's
as
so
that.
important. But let's, we're getting close on time, but I do want to stress, and I hope that the takeaway today is if someone is even thinking, or if you just really want to know what works out best, and if this is a possibility, or maybe plant a seed, maybe it's not this year that I'm going to buy, but maybe in a couple of years,
Right.
Come and talk to you, get some ideas, and get to see where you're at least.
Yeah,
If this is a possibility.
we can take a look at your budget and help you understand it. And if you're starting to get in trouble and wondering, we got some good access to some good
Yeah.
nonprofits that can help.
Love that.
So-
Legitimate companies.
Legitimate companies, if they come back and you call your bank or something and they say, well, we can't help you on your credit card because you're not behind yet. You got to be in trouble first. Don't listen to that. Pick the phone up and call us, and we'll lead you
Yeah.
somewhere that can, because you don't have to get in default to get help.
And
It's
that's
out
the nice thing. It's easier to hit it head on than to be drowning in it.
Yes.
That happens.
Control it.
And
Control
sometimes
it so
life
they control
happens.
you.
Yeah.
This is really good because, like, if someone right now is listening, and sometimes it's almost like, if you will, and I just think like a whirlwind. You're in, and you don't know, and you're in that, and you don't know how to get out of that.
Right. And I was sharing with Dennis the other day, like, I remember when we hit a hard part in our finances, and I was calling, hey, I'm not going to be able to make this payment. What can we do? What, I don't want to go late, and they told me, like, until you are late, we cannot do anything for you. The account is not defaulted. You're going to have to go late before we can help you. Well, one 30-day late will knock your credit score down 100 points. And so it's like, wait a minute. They won't even help, but there are companies that are out there legitimately.
and they're not really companies because they're nonprofit organizations.
Right.
They're international. So there is help out there. You just got to be proactive enough to get it. And if you need to come, if you can't borrow your way out of debt, don't even think
No,
about it.
because all you're doing
You
is adding more debt.
You can't pay your debt with your charge cards, because that's just borrowing and running it up. You're going to run into a hole. You're going to run into a wall one of these days, and you're going to fall flat on your face, and it's going to hurt.
What is it? Can't rob Peter to pay Paul?
And rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
So before you get to there, if you're having to, you're running out of money and you're running down to the where you borrow
Payday USA.
Payday USA, any of those type of places, you need to be talking to somebody. You need to be figuring this out. Like the old cartoon, the ostrich sticking his head in the sand and hoping the world goes away. It's not going to happen.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, start today or start soon, and yes, I always say go boldly into the night. I mean, it's not something that you really are looking forward to. It might be painful in the beginning, but at the end, it will be. And when you start seeing it working, or when you start seeing a change, or when somebody helps you out,
right?
I mean, it's going to be a lot better.
Well, choose your hard. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, it may be painful, but it's also painful to have everything coming in and not know where to start. It's both hard. So choose your hard.
And don't be bashful about it. Don't be ashamed of it.
Yeah.
Being ashamed, hiding from it because you're embarrassed is the wrong thing.
Exactly.
And we're not going to make fun of you.
No.
We're not going to tell anybody else.
No.
Come in and see us.
We've probably been there.
I mean,
Yeah.
been there, done that.
And probably 99% of us are. It's just.
I can remember back when my kids were little. I mean, we literally counted pennies to buy a Coke for the kids. It got to the point that we were using Jiffy Mix to make
Cornbread.
cornbread.
He's dying. He's dying over here.
They have a biscuit mix that you can make, raw biscuit. We even got a book on how to make your own mix. We mixed it from scratch. I mean, it got pretty tough a couple of different times, but you will survive it. You will survive it.
That's
you
the thing.
Put your mind to it.
You'll always survive. You'll always come back.
You always come back, and you'll be a stronger and better person.
Well, and that's the good news today. There's always hope.
And there is, as long as you hit it head on. It may take a couple years. Like it may take you a good 2 years, but really, in the big scheme of things, how long is 2 years?
Yeah, really, I agree.
I mean, you can come back. You can never be too far that you can't come back.
Exactly.
So anyway,
so that's good news today, and so it brings hope. And I hope that someone, and Celebrity Home Loans located right here in Salem on the square.
On the square, 18
your
Public
Your
Square.
hours?
9 to 5. If you need to meet us after hours, give us a phone call. We'll set up an appointment for you, and you're welcome to come in. Office number is 812-883-0670.
Yes.
Man.
Don't call yourself, right?
He needs some coffee. All right, Coffee Club sponsor. Speaking of coffee, Walmart, Meadowview Healthcare, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Celebrity Home Loans, LLC, NMLS 227765, and MLS Consumer Access.org, Federal Equal Housing Federal Lender, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Fox Pearly Wealth Management.
Awesome.
Cannot get my words out either.
And speaking of political, we'll be hosting a political forum. It's not a debate, it's a forum. And that's going to be on the 26th of April. And that's a Tuesday night. And of course, we'll have it broadcast on the radio. I'll have it on my Facebook feed. Or you can come down. It'll be at City Hall at 6 o'clock. And all candidates, everyone's invited. Come out. And it's going to be a great night. And also, it's right before election. And that'll give you an opportunity to hear from your politician or hear who you want to support in their own words. So we're looking forward to it. And I think we're going to have a good turnout. So a good night. So, and it's not a debate. It's a forum.
It's a forum. It's a forum.
Yeah. All right. You guys, Dennis and Autumn, keep up the great work. Celebrity Home Loans. I'm a huge fan of yours and I appreciate that. And I love that you're involved in the community. And I love that you guys are here for our community because we need guidance, we need help, and this is stuff that we don't really know about and really don't want to know all that you know on that, and we appreciate your expert, and how you bring it down to earth for us to understand and to get it for sure.
Well, we try. I mean, that's what it takes. I mean, and we didn't learn it overnight. It's not something we done overnight, but we enjoy helping people, and it makes us feel good and gives us a good feeling. When people's been in problems and we help them get out of it.
I love that. Yeah.
Get organized and then go buy their home.
Well, and it's a big part. It's a big bonus for our community that we have you.
Well, and on the flip side of that, I know we need to go, but I'm gonna, we are a part of the community, and that's the thing that, I didn't tell you. I actually tried calling you yesterday, and it kept on the voicemail. But I am coaching soccer on top of baseball, and he doesn't know it yet, but he's going to be my assistant coach this year, is somebody we helped get a home loan a couple years ago. And so it's like, we see we live with you.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Really at the end of the day, and I've always told people this, my reputation is all I have because I live with you. We can't really screw you over, like we're not trying to line our pockets because listen, I live with you.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
I'm going to see you in Walmart. I'm going to see you at the ball field. We live here. We live with you.
Love that.
We're all, if you succeed, we all succeed.
I love that too. Absolutely. Exactly. Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming in. Keep up the great work, Celebrity Home Loans. And we actually will have a big program on Friday. I'm trying to remember the guests, but we've got guests on Friday, so we'll see you back. Okay. I know. More coffee.
More coffee.
All right.
That's the motto of the day.
Warning. This program may be found offensive by pencil-pushing, bean-counting, research-loving program directors and radio consultant gurus. Welcome to the Rick and Bubba Experience. down on the cross for all the lost like me.
It is 6 minutes past the hour. Rick and Bubba Show. 866 We Be Big is our number. Yesterday's Bible study archive is available. Genesis 16. Watch out when we decide to work our own plan. Wow, and this was a big one. We unpacked that. And also RBU, Rick and Bubba University, the podcast. Coming out again this weekend, we'll be interviewing and hearing the fascinating story of Dan Parker. And you want to make a note and then grab that wherever you get podcasts over the weekend. Gang's all here today. Welcome back, Bill Bubba Buster.
Rick, glad to be here, and we've had a very active show today.
Active.
I wanted to share one email with you, and of course I lost it in the break here. I bumped it, but it basically...
Did you bump it live?
I did, and sung while I was doing it.
Sure.
And let's see, Greg, thank you for that, Michael Hot. And we... Oh, me. Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm going to paraphrase what the email said because I can't find it.
Okay.
It was from Allie in Montgomery. Okay. And she said that her son was a huge Cars fan. You know, the movie, Disney.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you meant the band. No, the movie. And said the minute that Gary started telling the story about the tick, her little boy from the back seat started screaming, "Mater, Mater, Mater."
Yeah, I can see that easily. I mean, because they talk very similar.
Yes, they do. Yes,
So, do you just feel every time Gary's here, Moultrie comes and all that, I enjoy them being here, and it's a lot of fun, and it's great content, and the audience obviously had a good time. But there's a certain sense of relief when they're all gone.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
I think it's like a family gathering. You're excited for them to be there. You
exactly
enjoy
right.
it, but when they leave, you're kind of like,
yeah, and they leave a little bit of mess behind. So it's almost like they stir it up, they party, and then they leave you with the mess. Yeah, you really love time with your family. When that last car pulls out the driveway, there's a certain, that's exactly the way I feel. You're 100% right on that. And it's like, that was good. I enjoyed it. But it's like I need a break from it for just a minute.
You know, speaking of needing a break, Greg, you go. No, I texted you guys last night because I'm sitting there watching network news, and the guy on the news says, when we come back, we have a report that the Capitol may be.
Oh, I remember that. I saw y'all.
And it is being evacuated. We'll go live when we come back. I'm like, what? You go to break and leave us for that?
I saw y'all text.
And I texted you guys. I said, hey, the Capitol building is being, they're running everybody out of there, being evacuated, and there may be a airplane threat, which, you know, we've had back on 9/11, so everybody's always been sensitive about that. And by the time they got back out of the break, they said, well, it's an all clear. We had about 11 minutes scare here. They thought they had an unidentified aircraft that was headed toward the Capitol building. But we found out today, Rick, it was actually some of the Army Golden Knight jumpers that was jumping into the National baseball game. And there was some snafu between their flight plan, the FAA, and the people who watch over that at the Capitol building. And they thought they were under attack for a few minutes.
But how can that happen? I mean, because I didn't see the text when it first started. I had to go back and walk through y'all's text. And y'all were basically saying the same thing. How in the world can something this important not be communicated correctly involving the Major League Baseball and the Nationals and our government? When you're in the Capitol, that's where you play. And you're going to fly a plane in and put parachutists out. How can that cause that problem?
Well, you would think, how can that happen?
Yeah.
And Nancy Pelosi, who is in charge of the Capitol Police, who is in charge of the safety of the grounds of the Capitol, and, you know, until I went there, I didn't realize how big it is. I mean, I thought Capitol building, how hard can that be?
Yeah.
But it's like a state park. I mean, it's literally miles of grass and buildings, and, you know, the senators and congressmen are not actually in that building. That's where they go to vote and for the photo ops, but they actually have offices in other buildings. So, and they're giant buildings all around the Capitol building. So it's a big complex, and you see why they would need a very specialized police force for that. But she was being very protective of the Capitol Police and blaming the FAA on this, saying that there would be a full congressional investigation into how this happened. So I'm like you. I mean, you think you have the military there. There's all, Joint Base Andrews and, two big airports. And I mean, I imagine it's very complicated how they have to coordinate all that. But you can't have the Capitol building think it's under attack, especially at this point where
when you're doing a pre-game exhibition at a baseball game,
and on the same day that Russia tested a new intercontinental ballistic missile and threatening people with it.
Yeah, they said out of an abundance of caution that they were evacuating the Capitol. They didn't feel like they were ever under attack or something, but they had this low-lying aircraft that it kept looping.
But they haven't talked about, hey, heads up, the Nationals, we're going to have planes coming in. It seems like if you're playing a professional sport in the nation's capital, especially during times that are so volatile, that anytime you had to do a flyover, everybody's crossing every T and dotting every I, so there is no confusion.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just a standard operating procedure.
I mean, you think there would be a fly